backfield. Can they do it again? Yes, they can!
And the catch is made by Taj Washington. Touchdown, USC.
Blocked by Embiid! Timmy, yes!
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Beef Upfront podcast here on Pick Swap Media. This is your host, Ryan Coyle. As always, continuing today our prospect profile series as we head closer and closer to the NBA draft. Today's episode will feature Gradey Dick, freshman, guard forward, 6'8", out of Kansas, 205 pounds, 7-foot wingspan, 19 years old, just wrapped up his freshman year, and enters his draft as arguably the best shooter in his class. I personally believe it's Jordan Hawkins, but Gradey Dick, certainly has a good argument there as well. In his lone season at Kansas, he didn't disappoint. 32 minutes a game, shot 44% from the field, shot 40% from three on about 6 attempts a game, shot 85% from the line. So very translatable numbers there where he might even have some more success shooting the three ball at the NBA. And he was able to rebound as well. 5.1 rebounds a game, 1.7 assists. 1.4 steals a game, and he averaged 14.1 points per game. He was one of the go-to guys on a Kansas team that was a number one seed, eventually fell short in the tournament, but a really, really good freshman year. He's just a player. I think he kind of is what he is, though. I don't really know if there's much upside into him, and I'm going to use the phrase sneaky athletic because he's a white guy, and he doesn't look like he belongs on a basketball court in his long, lanky, goofy kind of frame. And he looks like he's not a basketball player at all. But then he's going up there and catching lobs and throwing down dunks. So he does have some athleticism, but not enough where I think he's suited to be a very good NBA player. I'm worried about him at 6'8", having to guard some high-level wings. I don't think he has that capability. They're going to try and make him most likely into a 3-and-D type player. But I just don't know if he has that in him on the defensive end of the floor. Certainly he can shoot the ball well enough, but I do have my concerns about Gradey Dick, and a lot of buzz about him being the 7th or 8th overall pick, a top 10 guy. I don't know if I would do that. I think maybe back half of the lottery would be better for him, but he does have the most attractive thing about him. He does have that NBA level skill from day one with his shooting ability. And outside of the top 4 or 5, if you can just get a guy that brings one really, really good skill to the table, that's most likely a win out of your draft pick. But he does come in with some questions. Does he really do anything else well? Is there anything else he can tap into and get better at? I don't really see that when watching his games. We'll go through his strengths real quick. One of, as I said, if not the best overall shooter in this class, has a nice high release point and is able to get it off in a hurry. One thing I really like about him, whenever he's moving without the ball, hands are always ready. He's always in shot position, so he can get open in a blink of an eye, and then he's able to just already get ready, set, and fire. He never is running around with his hands not ready. He knows how to use and find space really well. That's a very attractive part about his game. Has deep range on his shot, is able to really shoot it from the parking lot sometimes, and as I was saying, knows how to move off the ball and find that open space, and he's good at really reading the driver and getting in his eyesight and getting in his line of vision where, all right, if I'm driving middle and I'm in the corner, I got a help defender coming up here. Let me slide up on the wing and be able to catch and shoot threes. He has a high IQ in that regard in terms of finding space. Always shot ready, as I was saying, shows the ability to also catch in transition. If someone gets it off the glass, get it up to Gradey Dick on an outlet pass at half court, he's able to take 1-2 dribbles and pull up into a three. That's another good thing about his game where if he can get it on the wing and he only needs a dribble or two to get inside his range, he's able to get it up and get in a hurry. And I think that's a attractive part about being the type of shooter that he is. He can catch fire in a hurry and really ignite his team. I was talking about this with Jordan Hawkins as well. Watching Gradey Dick this year at Kansas, it kind of seemed like if he was hitting a couple of threes, you could really feel the energy of the team pick up. And that's either when they would, start coming back or they would start pulling away from a team. That's the beauty of powerful shooting. I mean, that it can really ignite a team, or if they're not making it, it could deflate them as well. Really good at using screens, though. they did run this like one action a lot where it was like kind of just like a simple flare screen, and it worked a lot, and they would get him open. But it's one of those things he didn't really have to do much with it. He kind of just went off the screen. It's not like it was the hardest play, but just teams just weren't really able to stop it, and it was just generating him a lot of open looks. Something I think in the NBA that could get cut down on. But as I was saying as well, a better athlete than you would think. He can go up and punch it. He can catch lobs. I saw him catch several alley-oops while watching this film. And he can put it on the floor attacking closeouts. So if he's catching on the three-point line and people are trying to run him off the line, very good pump fake, 1-2 dribble pull-up. But in terms of getting to the cup and finishing there, that's something he needs to work on. Weaknesses, I'm going to say not overly quick. He does play with a lot of energy as well, though. That's another one of his strengths. But weaknesses, not overly quick. I'm worried that he's not going to be able to get as much separation at the next level using screens. Like, one of the reasons I like Jordan Hawkins a lot better because he's a much better athlete in terms of his quickness and also like conditioning wise. He could go 100 miles per hour the entire game and not get tired. I think that helps Hawkins out certainly by just being able to mess with defenders more and getting open and creating more separation. I'm worried with Gradey Dick that he's not going to be quick enough to consistently get separation coming off screens, and he's going to allow guys to trail him and not really be able to get a shot off as much. Certainly he's going to be able to, and you get your Tuesday night game in January between the Magic and the Kings. You're not getting world-class effort there from opposing defenders. So he's going to have certainly his nights, but come playoff time, guys are playing hard each and every possession. Guys are going to be in his hip pocket, and I don't know if he has the athletic ability and the athletic quickness to separate off guys on screens there. So not much of, if at all, a threat when it comes to put on the floor and trying to go to the basket himself. Not a very good finisher around the rim unless he's kind of wide open there, or he's catching lobs, as I was saying. But it's a matter of all he really can do. He does rebound the ball pretty well, but all he really can do is shoot the three ball. And I don't know if that's worthy of like a top 10 pick. Shoots at 40%, but if he was like a 47, 48% shooter, okay, fine. But 40%, I would much rather take a chance on a guy like Hawkins who showed vast improvement from year 1 to year 2, upped his three-point percentage by 6%, I believe, and I think he still has room to grow into his game. Gradey Dick, I think he kind of is what he is. So do you really want to use a top 10 pick on that? He's really good at the one thing that he does well, but really is it that valuable to take him in the top 10, or can I potentially go somewhere else where I can get a guy kind of similar to him in that regard, but he has more room to grow into and does some other things for me as well? And can he defend other 6'8" wings at the next level? I don't have confidence if he's going out there guarding like a Mikal Bridges, or if he's got to guard like a Kevin Durant, Chris Middleton, a Jason Tatum, just other longer, lanky kind of wings. I don't have confidence in him going out there and defending them. So that's a question mark for me as well, if he's going to be that prototypical 3-and-D type of guy. My comparison for him, it was kind of easy one, I guess. This is a guy that played really well in the finals the other night, and you could see the impact that a guy like this can have. But he's going to be a role player. It's nothing really special, but a valuable NBA role player. And this is a pretty easy comp. It's two white guys from Kansas. I'm going to say a better Christian Brown, excuse me. But he's also taller. Christian Brown's about 6'6", Gradey Dick's about 6'8", and he's a better shooter than him. I think Gradey Dick will be a better version of Christian Brown. And if that's what you're able to get, I think that's a solid pick. But Christian Brown was also picked, late 20s in the first round. Gradey Dick, you're looking at him like a pick 8 in between 7, 8 to the 14 area. So is he really that valuable to take that high? I don't think so. I would probably take him in the second half of the first round. My projection for him is back half of the lottery. I do think he would be a perfect fit for the Dallas Mavericks at number 10 overall, just working alongside Luka. If Kyrie comes back, 2 ball dominant guards, you need guys to be able to space the floor around them. I think Gradey Dick would be a perfect fit there for the Mavericks with his 3-point shooting ability, but we'll see what happens come draft night. But Gradey Dick, not the biggest fan of him personally. Still a very good shooter. I just don't know how much more upside he has to grow into his game. And outside of his 3-point shooting, doesn't really bring that much else to the table, which kind of scared me away from taking him in the top 10. So that'll do it for the Gradey Dick episode of our prospect profile series. Make sure to stay tuned. We'll have a lot more videos coming out as we get closer and closer to the NBA draft. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll talk soon.